Welcome to jobskillshare.org. This is Danish, and today I will be talking about our enhancement to the live training because jobskillshare.org is now heavily focusing on live training. We are getting people who just want to start career, want to learn skills, and they get into IT. We have done that for many members, and now we have people that have actually landed a job and they're starting in next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then they basically share their descriptions, and then we train based on that. Now we don't do any big customization, but we look at the description and we see, oh, okay, let's just do that a little bit more because that's what you're going to be working on. So our live training has some enhancements. So if you have already took our live training, contact us. We will provide you the new trainings, which is basically for freely available for people who take our entry-level live training once. So here you go. We have this learning path on our instructor-led IT training page. If you go to JobSkillShare, this learning path is a quick overview of how we conduct our training. In the beginning, we provide, a payment options, of course. Then 50% is done, almost 50% is done, or 40% you can call it phase one, depending on how users can learn the information. Some users are fast with technical skills. Some users take time. So in that, we come up with different solutions for them because we don't want to just push everything if people don't understand some of the technical terms in the beginning. In phase two, we basically go for practice lab and testout.com. The reason for that is that we don't teach tiny things like boot errors or system issues or system got locked up, and that's where a lot of people get stuck. Now we are not the only people giving this access, but a lot of people give this access in the beginning, and people are lost because of so much information and very specific and targeted information about Windows operating system. People lose their kind of like a pathway towards jobs. And what we're doing is we're basically giving them a little bit different approach, that why don't we teach you just like a job skills, and that's how people learn very quickly. When they land the job, how can they learn so quickly on the job? The reason for that is that they teach them real world skills, applications, the things that are very important to the infrastructure and the companies, and they are mostly generic. Of course, companies have different applications, different way of dealing with things, but most of the companies in this help desk environment, they use similar type of products like ticketing, Office 365, similar tracking. If they're using Office 365, of course, is all over the same because it's a cloud-based system. And there will be a little bit differences. Of course, we don't go to every single difference, but we just take the main things that people will accept it, respect it, and they will appreciate that you have done this type of training because it saves their time too. So this is where we do the phase two part, and then we basically get into the phase three, which is your job resume. And when you apply for jobs, we help you with those interviews. Basically you call us and say, hey, I applied to this position, this is what they're asking for, I did my live training, but is there something else that I can do? So then of course we have such a huge access, then we can jump around to LabSim, we can jump around to our own customized videos that basically help a lot of people when they look for specific skill that are missing in a live training, or even testout.com don't have it, then we will find it over here. If we can find it, of course, we basically tell them to use this resource or that resource. We help them, we guide them, basically. That's the main case. And after that, of course, we have 1 year access to the practice lab, which is amazing, huge access. And of course, this is what we use for career development. Basically, you come back to us as a member and say, okay, I am now doing a little bit more networking, what do I do now? So we say, okay, if you're doing networking, then why don't you do these labs? These are real courses, everything is done in there. There's huge access, routers, switches, firewalls, everything is in there. If you're a sysadmin person, then we basically tell you to go for Server Plus and then MCSA courses in practice lab. So it's our platform is not just one course kind of thing. We're not a platform, we're not a Udemy type of platform. They're good, they're best because they have so many videos, video courses and everything, but that's kind of like consider that library of books. We are also library of books in a way that now we're only focusing about your career, your everything that surrounds you, soft skills, hands-on, every single thing that you can come across, we have it in this platform. Now I want to move on to one of the enhancement that we did with our phase one. I'm going to show you, and this is going to be one of the best things, I believe, because we have provided a lot of live training since 5 years, and one of the main things that we kept getting was that, can I get a tickets? Can you create some type of of a step-by-step ticket so I can redo everything? Now in our live training, we were always pushing that our live training is all ticket, and we train you based on real world. I mean, the reviews out there, people have done a lot of good reviews for us. So if you're interested in knowing what kind of reviews we have, you should go to JobSkillShare. Just type JobSkillShare, go to JobSkillShare English, and then watch these reviews. I'm not scared of job description. Then this is a live troubleshooting going on with members. Then it's more information. Then here's another one. Things are not going to be foreign to you after this training. And then of course there are some other ones too that we have just done recently, like this one. They act like you must know A+. And there are many more reviews online. So if you're one of those people that really like to listen to people and then decide on these type of training, then this is going to be your first place. But now let's go back, and what we have done for our live members is something that's going to really make them to the next level when they do this training and will watch these videos again. So the first, when we do on day one, we basically go and create the whole network environment only related to like domain connected environment for help desk. So we don't create like routers or switches or anything like that, but we create the Active Directory environment because a lot of people are using that. So in our training, what we do is we use this 30 days access where people have a very nice powerful server access, and this is where they will log in and they will basically watch instructor for 2 hours, 3 hours, and we even went for almost 5 hours in one of our trainings. So there's no limit. As long as we can finish our things, we will finish it. So then when we do this, we give this 5 hours video or 4 hours of video to the member almost the same day. In few hours we give it to them, but then they come back and redo everything by watching the video. So we did a little change over here because those 5 hours are so long, then people sometimes may lose track, and they still like it, but we want to make it even more better now. And the reason for that is that when there is an interview and when you go for the interview, then we are training people not only for skills, we're actually training people so they remember these terms. So remember, we have two targets. One, people who don't have job. People who have job, probably they won't care about this. They probably will just get into these servers and just watch videos and keep doing it again and again. But people who don't have jobs, they need to actually remember these names that we're basically teaching them, because that's what matters. When you don't have skills, when you don't have experience, and you have never worked anywhere, then you are basically selling yourself or trying to impress other human being by showing them little uniqueness in your interview. Because if you go without this kind of stuff, then it's hard for you to land a job. And that's our main goal. That is probably why we are different, because we're very much researching on what kind of terms will make another human being happy. So this is what we do. So the way we have designed is, of course, people have 30 days access to this stuff, and they're doing all their stuff. They're asking us questions and back and forth kind of thing. Now we will basically create a whole same thing. There's nothing changed. We're going to do the same lecture for a little bit, and then we're going to say, okay, let's install 2007 domain controller. But on the right side, what we have done now is we have added pictures alongside of our training. We didn't have this before because we'll jump straight to the lab, right? Now we're going to do this because this is one document that you will need to take it with you when you have an interview. Or even if you don't have an interview and you're working somewhere, you can just pull up this document and you will suddenly realize that something related with accounts has to go to the Active Directory, and then it looks like this: Active Directory users and computers. And you have that clarity will come, or that you did this training, so everything will it's all about in IT. When you do things repetitively, we have an image in our head, so we automatically assume that you will have it too, which is not the same case, right? That's why people ask us, hey, can I get a more step-by-step or kind of like a ticketing system approach? So in this, what we did is now we will create the same network. We basically teach people that, okay, you're in a domain connected network. This is what it is. This is Active Directory. This is how you create your own help desk account, but somebody else might have created for you. They will put our set tools on it already for you, or they may give it to you that because you say that you know these skills, so why don't you just do it for yourself? Then here we will basically give you a real ticketing system, which we do in some of our training. We basically make you install ticketing system or get to our ticketing system. So now you're going to do this in the project. product. So we will say open ticket as a user, close ticket as a user, and then explain the whole lecture on ticketing system, which we usually do in our live training. Then you can see our whole training starts with ticket 1. And in ticket 1, everything is given to you just like what you're going to be getting at job. Now, this may not be exactly like the same wording, but it's exactly how you're going to get the ticket. So by just doing this one ticket, you're not only doing one piece, it's like you're actually getting into Active Directory and doing certain tasks. So this is where our training really helps, because this is where instructors start talking what kind of jobs you will what kind of calls you will get. Even with just creating a staff member, that doesn't mean your Active Directory knowledge is over and you're good to go. After that, you need to know about lockouts. How do you lock out a user? How do you unlock them? Where to go and change these policies? Then we go down and do these things with you. Create a group, ticket number 3, then add another user by yourself, and then we basically another group right there, and then we create a group policy right there. And in group policy is where we put this image in there. So then we say, okay, what kind of group policy we're going to need to use? Who will create this group policy? Then we make policy clarification with you. System admin is going to be doing this. You're not going to be doing this. You're not going to be doing that. So we clear some of the things for you, because that is the main problem with a lot of people. They think they have to finish everything and they need to learn everything. Well, in reality, in entry-level jobs, nobody's expecting that from you. If they do, that's their own thing. But normally, on average, people don't expect these things. So we basically, what we're doing right now, we're clearing minds at the same time too. We're basically making you targeted towards your goal rather than go to some kind of hole which you never can come out. So that's where a lot of people make mistakes in their own trainings too. They just go into this nice big long training with a lot of different type of operating system troubleshooting, this troubleshooting, that troubleshooting. So if you want to become a Best Buy technician, that's up to you. Repair technician, that may be a good thing for you. But if you want to become a business level IT professional, you want to become more of like, you think you were in a help desk, but at the same time you have the skills of a junior sysadmin, then that's what we are training you for, because that's where our people then grow. They have this mentality to grow and move on from a help desk. Then of course after that we have for each, then we basically give you access to 30 days access to the Office 365, and with that also we put this icon in there, because remember, we in our live training we are very focusing on admin piece. You're an admin, you're not a normal user. And when we keep asking you this thing, okay, why are you admin? Tell me by looking at the screen. And people say, oh, because there's an admin thing. I'm like, okay, what kind of rights do you have because you see this? So people start talking about this. They get a lot of confidence on that. You see every single thing we put this thing. So you can see right now, this can go all the way down, and it gets very technical after that. Okay, now if we're going to be sharing normally, how else are people using share on the servers, file resource manager, different type of sharing access. So we do these kind of things with you now, and some of the things, like I said, is going to be new to even our live members, and that's something we told them that every live training we're going to add on to make our training better and better, but they have the ability to ask us and we'll share this information with them. Manage and control sharing from the server, you see right there's we talk about terms and applications that are extremely famous outside in IT world. And like I said, if you know these things, you're gold. The reason for that is that people are using these tools, and I will challenge everybody to go to Indeed.com and just type PDQ, and you will see how many titles will show up with that. Then we talk about Spiceworks. We then add some MSP softwares in there, because think about it, you may land a job with an IT company and they are 100% going to be using some type of MSP software. They're not going to be doing manual stuff. They're not going to be RDPing to other machines. They're not going to be doing tunnels or anything like that. They're going to be straight using an MSP software most likely, and you need to know about it then. And now imagine if you go to the interview and this is an IT company, and you tell them that, hey, I have an experience about the MSP software. Now there you go, you just made a home run right there. So this is where we see that we're giving these pictures in front of these tickets, which you will never forget, and it's the best way to remember. Because if I'm thinking like, why didn't I do this when I was getting training, or maybe training people like ahead of time? Because we go straight to the site, but we never focus on logos. So then now I realize that where the issue is, because some people may say, oh, you know what, I forgot this. What was that software? And now they're not going to forget this. We're going to give this document to them, and then they're going to be basically working on these systems because they have all the access, they have all the hands-on access, they have us there to help them. So this is it. I mean, this is about how many tickets? This is about 34 tickets, but 34 tickets are not just 34 tickets. You really need to understand, when you create a ticket, there's a lot you need to do in one ticket. Some are very simple, some are very technical. So if people can do the 34 tickets in our live training, we basically tell them, you're good to go. You don't need to spend more time. Please do not get stuck in this master level kind of thing, and go and apply. And people even land a job without even this stuff. Why people come to us again? Because they need skills. They need to know this stuff. So this is what we're going to do in our new trainings, and hopefully this will be another best thing that a lot of people will love. So if you have any questions, please let us know. I'm happy to answer. Thank you.